Counsel, can I stop you a moment and back up a minute? You admitted that the concept of self-executing does generally permit states to provide a cause of action for breaches of a constitutional provision.
Correct.
In fact, they do it frequently for takings clauses. There's no debate that Colorado has provided that cause of action. You want to go a step further and say that this, like the treaty clause, requires implementing legislation to permit the state to disqualify an insurrectionist.
That's correct. So
under Section 3.
That's right.
So history proves a lot to me and to my colleagues generally. But there's a whole lot of examples of states relying on Section 3 to disqualify insurrectionists for state offices. And you're basically telling us that you want us to go 2 steps further. You want to, maybe 3. You want us to say that self-execution doesn't mean what it generally means. You want us now to say it means that Congress must permit states or require states to stop insurrectionists from taking state office. And so this is a complete preemption in a way that's very rare, isn't it?
Well, that's the only thing I would disagree.
It's rare under the 14th Amendment.
Oh, of course it's rare. This is a one-off situation. And, Your Honor, the only thing
Well, it is one-off. I don't disagree with you. But it's not with respect to how we've defined self-executing. So now the question is a very different one in my mind. I understand what you're relying on, Griffith. Let's just be very clear.
Right.
Griffith was not a precedential Supreme Court decision.
That's correct.
All right? It was a circuit court decision by a justice who, when he becomes a justice, writes in the Davies case, he assumed that Jefferson Davis would be ineligible to hold any office, particularly the presidency, and treated, and this is his words, Section 3 as executing itself, needing no legislation on the part of Congress to give it effect. So you're relying on a non-presidential case by a justice who later takes back what he said. So you want us to say, I'm wondering why the term limits qualification is important to you.
Because
are you setting up so that if some president runs for a 3rd term, that a state can't disqualify him from the ballot?
Of course.